Pearson Rabbit's story begins with Dr. Stephanie Pearson, a passionate OBGYN at the height of her career. When a shoulder injury struck during a precipitous delivery, her dreams were shattered, leaving her unable to practice medicine. Determined to make a difference, Stephanie became an advocate for her peers, guiding them through the complex disability process. Alongside insurance expert Scott Ravitz, Stephanie founded Pearson Ravitz, a company determined to approach insurance differently. Together, they set their mission to educate and empower physicians to protect their most valuable asset, their income, and the most important people in their life, their family. Today, Pearson Ravitz serves the medical community in all 50 states. At Pearson Ravitz, they understand the unique concerns of physicians. Physician-founded and physician-focused, Pearson Ravitz builds human connections before they create quotes. Life can change in an instant. It's hard to imagine that a sudden illness or injury could leave you and your family in a devastating financial situation. But with a little planning and guidance, you can prepare for every possibility. Visit PearsonRavitz.com today to schedule your consultation with a Pearson Ravitz advisor.
Finally, a source of raw, real, and honest information on healthcare issues that matter most. Welcome to BS Free MD. From the latest medical information to how to stay sane as a doctor or a patient, no subject is taboo, no BS is allowed. Now, let's welcome your hosts, Doctors May and Tim Hindmarsh.
Well, what do you know? We're in another hotel room doing another Doctales with cocktails because Tim just couldn't miss. So here we are.
Can't miss.
But you are missing your cocktail.
Oh, not for long. I have leftover absinthe, St. George's absinthe from California. It's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, drinking it out of Hampton Inn cups.
I will pass. So, what did you want to tell everybody what was going on?
Why are we late today? Why are we late? Why are we later than a 6-month pregnant woman?
A 6-month pregnant woman is late? I'm thinking if you're 10 months pregnant.
Late?
Okay. Enough with the...
I haven't had any.
So we have been journeying, if you've been following us, from Oregon to California with a big pit stop in Indio/Coachella. Not for Coachella, but for Power Trip for 3 days over the weekend.
I got my Power Trip shirt.
And then we made our way across Arizona, stayed in Tucson, and crossed New Mexico.
Why is it called Tucson? It's spelled Tucson.
I don't know. Ask the people that named it.
The C is silent. It's Tucson.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, we made our way into the edge of Texas, but as you all know, if you saw our post, we went back to New Mexico into Carlsbad today, and it was a brilliant request on our son's part to tour the national park and see Carlsbad.
The caverns are absolutely epic. Like you're literally walking underground for almost 3 miles, like under the earth. And then you come back at dusk and like 200,000 bats fly out of the cave.
Yeah, it was pretty freaky.
That's why we're late, because we had to stay till dark to watch the bats leave the cave. And you're sitting there in this...
I'm pretty sure it was close to 1 million bats. I don't know about 200,000. They just kept coming and coming and coming out. So if you've never seen that, it is like a bucket list trip because it was super, super cool.
No, it's bizarre though. Like you're literally sitting there.
Well, we left after
and you're waiting and waiting, and the ranger is happily explaining stuff, and then all of a sudden these bats just explode out of the earth, and then they make massive bat swarms.
Okay, well, what's really...
And then they flap their bat wings so much that they disturb the air coming out of the cave, and it literally, and then it just, you get this massive blast smell of bat guano, and it's essentially like you're standing inside the world's biggest urinal.
Pretty much.
It's awesome.
What's even more freaky about that whole thing is all those bats that come out of the cave were in there when we went and walked down into the cave. and did the tour.
But they were just in the opening because it smelled horrible for only like a quarter of a mile.
So literally close to 1 million bats were housed in there. It reeked because it did smell like a massive urinal without the cake. No cake.
Well, but it makes me wonder. It made me wonder. Okay, bat guano, right? But
did you get dripped on when we were in the cave?
No, I didn't. But I always like so I actually looked it up. So bats don't have bats are mammals, and they poop through
a cloaca.
No, they don't. No mammal has a cloaca. They do. Well, marsupials sort of have a cloaca. So a cloaca is where your pee hole and your butthole are combined into
together.
One hole.
So where do bats go?
So birds have cloacas.
Mm-hmm.
Bats,
they're mice basically with wings,
have anuses like us.
Because they're bats.
Because they're mammals.
I mean, because they're bats. Because they're like mice with wings.
So it's exactly the same. But I just found this up. There was folklore, especially in the country folk that were around a lot of bats, that bats actually shat out their mouths.
What?
Because they hung upside down.
Oh, brother. Well.
So then I was thinking, as I'm being wafted with the toxic hits of bat guano, where did the expression batshit crazy come from? And I don't know if anyone has an idea.
All I know is if you've gone to the Portland Zoo, like we did with the kids, and they hang upside down, and you can see them crapping upside down. It literally drips.
Well, we saw them.
Well, they were also mating.
We saw them mating upside.
We did not want to explain to the kids
when our kids were little
why they were bouncing around.
Okay, if you want to talk about ineffective retention of fluids needed for mating upside down, hanging upside down, that was
maybe there's a lot of retention of fluids.
It proves that A, God has a sense of humor, and B, you didn't evolve to do that, because evolution would have never selected for upside down mating.
I don't know.
But the hilarity continues.
Well,
it was wild to watch.
As Dave says, yes, death to guano fumes. It was disgusting. And then as they flew out of that, circling around, coming out of there, they were bringing the fumes with them. But we left. We didn't even stay till the end of the bat trail because it went on and on and on for like 20 minutes.
We'll have video next week.
Yeah.
You can't have video in the bat amphitheater of them coming out of the bat hole because
no electronic signals
because it freaks them out or something.
Yes.
And then, but Gary asked, how much did you miss? 5 minutes. We've only been doing that because we were very late because we were watching bats come out of the Carlsbad cavern.
Yes. So Gary, no, you were not alone about a Facebook notification. This is just spontaneous as we're on the road.
But it is Wednesday.
And Tim wanted to make sure we got this on here for you guys so you could watch it. So no, don't feel left out or anything like that. So what other favorite parts of the trip have you had?
Well, the power trip was actually the concert was actually exceeded. I mean, I've been looking forward to that for months. It actually far exceeded my expectations. First of all, the people at the Empire Polo Grounds that run the actual facility where they have this is impeccably organized, like unbelievably well organized to be able to we had to walk a mile to get in. The bands were good. Axl Rose gets a little tired and can't sing high, but he still tries, which, whatever. And then, we the air conditioner is driving me absolutely freaking crazy, but we are on the road. So that was a bit much. We missed Iron Maiden, which sucked, but it was worth it because we got to visit with a friend that's been on the podcast before, which we will reveal soon. That was a great thing. And let's see, what else was good? Well, it was amazing to see AC/DC after not playing for 7 years. I saw them on the last tour and then to see them again. And I thought Brian Johnson, for 76 years old, did a really good job. May's really picky.
I'm very picky, so I was not impressed.
Judas Priest was amazing. Rob Halford was an absolute force of nature. That was amazing. But sorry, the guys with the biggest skill set in the entire freaking world was Tool. There's no question about that. May is totally sold now. I told her, I don't know how many times you have to really get into this because it is the thinking person's metal band, and they are absolutely unbelievable live.
It was the best. Well, we didn't see Iron Maiden, so we can't compare. But
no, but I mean, I've seen Maiden like 10 times.
And then came Metallica.
That's tomatoes. Metallica was great, but it's honestly, and I'm a big thrash metal fan. It's really hard to listen after being immersed in Tool for over 2 hours to all of a sudden hear old Metallica, and you're like, wow, that's just really simple.
Yes. Well, anyways.
So, but anyways,
no major things going on. Otherwise, people were pretty chill and cool. I did see one lady at the end of the night eat crap and pass out, and they had to send the paramedics.
Well, everyone was chill because everyone was 60.
Well, and it was like 1 a.m, and we were tired.
Or their kids or grandkids. So
anyway,
that part, but that was good. The merch tent sucked. I stood in line for an hour,
and all he got was his Beavis and Butthead t-shirt.
Yeah, and I get there, and they're like, "Well, we're sold out of everything in medium." I'm like, "Well, why don't you put the freaking sign up so I don't have to stand?" Like that was absolutely insane.
I think they did it just to spite you.
No, well, my buddy goes up there, large. Okay, how many larges are they going to sell? I don't know, maybe 300,000. He stood in line for an hour, and all he got was a beer koozie. They were sold out of every single other thing. Like you can't put a sold out sticker on this, or extra small Asian woman petite size is the only one we have. Like,
well, some of us stood in line at the beginning of the concert for the band t-shirt we wanted.
Yeah, but you went to the band t-shirt. Like when I got my AC/DC stuff, that was no problem. Anyway. It was the Power Trip stuff. Whatever. So then I wanted a poster really bad. So then I ended up spending it.
He bought it off eBay.
Yeah, because I knew exactly what was going to happen, because I knew all the posters were gone, because these bastards were buying them and selling them on eBay the next day, which they were for 2.5 times.
All right. So let's see. That was a good highlight.
That was good.
I squished a snake on the highway. Taking off. It was pretty freaky. Other than that, we haven't hit anything else. No cars, no armadillos, no other roadkill.
No, that's good. And the vehicles have survived and nothing has been messed with. So that's been good. We've managed to find parking for the U-Haul with the trailer everywhere, which is also good. Let's see. But tomorrow we have to drive through. We're driving to Houston. So we have to drive through San Antonio and then to Houston. And then on Friday morning, we're going to drive through Houston and then all the way to Mobile, Alabama.
Fun
is the plan.
times.
So all the way through the Gulf Coast.
So 3 big days ahead of us of driving to get there. So the playtime is over. Now it's just hitting the road again. And sending some photos along the way.
Yeah.
We are still contesting. So we're halfway through the contest. I got to figure out a few more questions. I think I have one for tomorrow. But if you haven't played along yet, please go back and you can enter, because we have posts on Facebook and Instagram of the contest questions. The first one is, what was Tim hauling behind the U-Haul on the trailer when we moved in 1994? We won't say anything to give it away of who's guessed correctly, because then you guys will scroll and look if I say their names. But someone is pretty close. And the next question is, well, there's one person that's very close, but I won't say any more than that.
Well, then there was, who did we have lunch with?
So then who did we have lunch with? The hint is they've been on the podcast. And that's all we'll say. The next question is, who wore it better? You have to scroll through some of the pictures to see it. Tim's battle jacket, Tim wearing it, or me. You get to vote who wore it better. That's an easy one, right? You'd think. I'm not going to say who wore it better. I'm not going to tell. You got to vote. And then the fourth question is, as we passed through Arizona, I said, there's something here that I'm horribly afraid of that lives in Arizona. What do you think it is? We've got some good guesses.
It's not Katie Hobbs.
Someone.
Contrary to, I know that's hard to believe.
And illegal immigrants was a good guess.
Yeah.
Lots of guesses for scorpions, tarantulas, snakes, and a couple lizards, and then some other fun things. Anyway, that's the contest so far. We'll try to do a little bit better job of posting the next ones, the questions. And when we get done, we will announce a winner or a couple, and you will actually get something mailed to your home from us.
That we're working on.
Yeah.
That will be of...
Our business manager is actually working on production of this product, so it's going to be a nice high quality item, and maybe some other fun prizes like some sand from the beach. I don't know. I'm kidding. Anyway, so
we could have broken off some stalagmite today,
yes.
but you can't touch them because then they stop growing apparently.
Right. It's
So
like coral. It's
so
like
what's
coral.
the difference between which one grows up and which one grows down? Stalactite versus stalagmite. Anyone?
Oh, that's pretty easy.
Well, they can Google it though. Right?
Anyway, so the contest continues. The podcast continues. We do have a truth bomb that Desiree repurposed, but a new podcast interviews coming out tomorrow. That was a show that we were on, so you can hear the interview of us on that show. So please check it out.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that was a good show.
And
Parker Condit. I want to say conduit, but I know it's not conduit. That's like a pipe.
Yes. Well, so we were guests on his show. That's coming out on the show. And other than that, we've got...
I knew that would happen. Gary got stalagmite and stalactite instantaneously correct.
That's not that hard. Just like Tim wanted to know the difference between a cavern and a cave. Can you name the different types of caves? That should be a question.
Well, there's lots of different kinds of caves, but a cavern, apparently one of the differences is size matters. And caverns tend to be cavernous or larger.
And they also have stalactites.
They have to have the stuff growing in them, though, the stalactite, stalagmite stuff.
Yeah.
Or else it's just a cave.
Yeah.
Because you can have an ice cave. You can have a lava cave.
Mm-hmm. Lots of caves.
You could probably make a pillow fort and make a pillow cave. If you're Mike Lindell, he probably does that every
We
night.
had snow caves growing up, remember?
We did. Well, snow caves actually are great places in climbing. They could save your life because you can stay warm in a snow cave.
Anyway, so we learned a whole lot.
That is a really, really impressive national park, but it is in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah. Saw a horrible car accident yesterday. And basically, I think I saw some illegal aliens trying to cross the border in El Paso. And that's an interesting city. Literally, you can see right into the ghetto of Mexico from the freeway, let me just say.
Yes, just like New Mexico, you can look all the way into Old Mexico.
Tim got his picture taken with an alien today.
Yeah, we'll post that.
And I don't know. Saw lots of bats, as we said.
Yeah, the bat thing. We'll get that. We'll put that in next week's show when we're hopefully we have internet, and hopefully we're actually in our house.
We will be poolside,
and we'll do it poolside,
coming to you live. So for now, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for playing along and thanks for the prayers and wishes. We see them. We can't get back to everybody yet, but we appreciate all the messages, and we will talk to you guys soon. See you from the road.
Now, a final word from our sponsor. At Pearson Ravitz, they understand that life can change in an instant. It's hard to imagine that a sudden illness, injury, or catastrophic event could put you and your family in a devastating financial situation. Physician-founded and physician-focused, Pearson Ravitz builds human connections before they create quotes. Visit www.pearsonravitz.com today and embark on a journey of safeguarding your future.
It's no secret that medicine is a bit uptight. That's why Tim and I created BS Free MD, to mix things up a little and have fun in the process. Besides, we are having these exact same discussions all the time, so we thought we might as well invite everyone to the party. If you really like us, you can get plenty more and maybe see one of Tim's cool tattoos on our Instagram or Facebook pages at BS3MD. See you next time.
But we try to keep BS3MD as raw and real as possible. We can't be held responsible for any medical decisions or discussions had as a result of what you've heard on the show. We know, bummer. But the truth is, we really do care about your questions. So feel free to reach out to us by email at doc@bs3md.com.